It was a bright sunny day, warm, with a light breeze blowing from north to south. A few small cumulus clouds were building above us. I was with a student in a small single-engine airplane. We were about 10 miles from the airport at 3,500 feet. He wasn't really a regular student. He was actually a very experienced airplane pilot, and he was trying to become a flight instructor. I had him demonstrating some maneuvers for us. Suddenly, it got very quiet. The engine had stopped. The only noise was the flow of air rushing around us. I looked over at the student and I said, "So, Mr. Wannabe Instructor, you think we can make it back to the airport from here?" He looked at the situation, shook his head, and said, "No, we're going to be at least a mile short, probably more." I said, "Yeah, you're right. I've got the controls. I'm going to show you how we can make it." I quickly turned the aircraft well to the north of the airport, lowered the nose, and accelerated. He was very confused about why we would be heading away from the airport. But I had seen a bird circling under a small cloud. I headed towards that cloud, got under it, and felt a little bump of turbulence, just what I was looking for. I raised the nose, banked it over into a steep turn, and circled directly under that cloud. And then I pointed out to my student, "Look at the altimeter. We're not going down." We circled for about 15 minutes. During that time, we actually gained a small amount of altitude, and the wind pushed the cloud and us closer to the airport. When we were close enough to the airport, I left the circle under the cloud and headed towards the runway. We landed safely. So how did we do it? How did we beat gravity? We cheated. Even though that was an airplane, it had a failed engine. The principles of flying that were very similar to flying a glider. A glider is an aircraft that has wings that create lift, just like an airplane, but a glider does not rely on an engine. The same laws of physics apply to both gliders and airplanes. Lift, drag, gravity. Difference is airplanes have an engine that can produce thrust. Gliders don't. Airplanes climb because they have excess power. Gliders don't actually climb. They can't. They don't have power. They just go downhill. They descend. If you're on a bicycle or roller skates or a car that's in neutral, it'll roll downhill. A steeper hill makes it go faster. You can use gravity to create speed, and the speed allows the wings to create lift. So if a glider's always going down, how do you stay up? That's where soaring comes in. Soaring is what glider pilots call finding lifting currents of air and working them. The goal of soaring is to see how long you can stay up, or for some, how far you can go. It's all about knowing the rules of physics and then bending them as far as you can. Glider pilots learn soaring techniques. We learn about lift and sink. Lift, when used in this context, means rising air. Sink is the opposite, because what goes up must come down. If there's lifting air somewhere, there's sinking air elsewhere. We learn about speed to fly, not necessarily the best glide speed, but the best speed for the given conditions. In lift, slow speed, maximize your time in the lift. In sink, a fast speed to penetrate out of the sink area and find a lifting area. We also have to find clues that would show us where the lift might be. There's different things that a glider pilot can look for. Cumulus clouds, birds that aren't flapping, colors and textures of certain things on the ground that reflect heat better. Glider pilots learn skills like flying a tight formation during the tow and how to do steep turns while at slow speeds. They learn stall and spin awareness. They learn how to make timely decisions. They learn about a concept called "that looks about right." Make a quick decision after you make an estimation, put it into practice, and then evaluate it and adjust as necessary. It's easy to become a pilot. So easy, in fact, the FAA allows 14-year-olds to fly them solo, and you only have to be 16 to earn a license. Adding a rating if you already have a pilot's license is simple. It only requires 10 solo flights and 10 dual flights, 20 solo flights if you want a commercial license. Pilots that fly gliders learn skills that are very useful in other types of flying. The requirements are easy to meet, and soaring is one of the most fun games there is. It's a game where the only way to win is to cheat. One of the best days I've ever had was with my then 8-year-old daughter, Kaylin. We went up in a little yellow K7 and found thermal over a drag strip. The sun was causing the pavement to heat up, giving us a rising column of air to circle in. And then a local event started. Cars were racing. We could hear the thunder of their engines booming through the sky, and with no engine noise to drown it out, we heard everything. We could hear the cheer of the fans. We would watch the cars line up and decide which one we were going to root for, the blue one or the white one. We stayed there for over an hour. Then we headed back home towards the local field, and I asked my 8-year-old daughter, "Would you like to land this thing?" Because they're that easy to fly. Of course, I guided her through the process. She landed it, and we had the best day ever. Thank you for your time.